If you want to win a Pokemon battle, sometimes you just gotta have that dog in you. Or at least you might want a pup or two in your party. Currently, there are about 40 canine Pokemon listed in the Pokédex. I say around 40 because some of them are questionable, as you'll soon see. So here's some facts for each, and my ranking on how much each of these Pokemon would earn the title of man's best friend. In other words, who is the goodest boy in Pokemon? The first canine Pokemon we'll meet today is Vulpix. Vulpix is likely based on the legendary foxes known as kitsune in Japanese folklore. Vulpix is born with a singular white tail that gains color and splits into 6 tails as it grows older. It also has a fire burning constantly inside of its body and releases flames from its mouth to keep itself from getting too hot. There's a 75% chance that any Vulpix you meet is female, so I guess it's technically more likely to be a good girl than a good boy. Anyway, is it warm and cuddly? Sure, but having the worst base stats of all fire-type Pokemon makes Vulpix a rough choice in a dogfight.
Good? Bruh, slow down. Slow down.
If you're not a fan of hot dogs, there's always a lowland Vulpix who's a lot more frigid and freezes its prey with negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit breath. Good boy rating, 3 out of 10. Like an Oscar Mayer hot dog level. Moving on, when a Vulpix or an Alolan Vulpix is exposed to a fire or ice stone respectively, it evolves into the aptly named Ninetales. No prizes for guessing how it got its name, but Ninetales automatically earns a bonus point for the Naruto references and memes though. Ninetales is one of those dogs you may want to put a sign on your lawn for, because if you pull one of its tails, even as a joke, you'll be subject to a 1,000 year long curse. Incidentally, 1,000 years is said to be how long a Ninetales can live for. So if you're going to add one to your party, you better stay loyal and not say anything behind its back, because it will understand you and it will hold a grudge.
Just woke up in a steaming mood, yeah?
Alolan Ninetales is a bit more chill, and will even help you if you lose your way. But if you harm nature or make it angry, well, I hope you enjoy spending the next millennium frozen in a block of ice. Good boy rating, 5 out of 10. Cool factor is there, but 1,000 years sounds like a lot of poop bags. The next pup is often seen as the parallel of Vulpix, albeit with much better base stats except for slightly lower speed and lower special defense. Growlithe are 75% male, and are also based on mythological creatures from Japanese folklore. The Shisa were mythical guardian dogs that resembled a cross between a lion and a canine. I wonder what sound that makes. Maybe a roar. Or a roar. I don't know. Simba might. Anyway, in Pokemon lore, Growlithe have a long history with humans, with Growlithe bones having been found in Stone Age ruins. Officer Jenny even uses them as police dogs, and they're a great companion due to their obedience and keen sense of smell. Although they can supposedly be rendered useless by a particularly bad smell, as seen in the episode titled The Case of the Canine Caper.
If these Growlithe can't use their sense of smell, and they can't understand Jenny's orders, they're useless as police Pokemon.
In Legends Arceus, our boy gets a Santa Claus-looking beard. Not sure how I feel about it, but he's still cute nonetheless. Growlithe is a very, very good boy, but his bark might be worse than his bite. 6 out of 10. The vibes are strong in my boy. And now, we have our first legendary Pokemon of this list. Well, kind of. Arcanine is also half lion, half dog. Faster, more majestic, and its bark is so powerful that anyone hearing it can't help but grovel before it. Fueled by the fire in its belly, Arcanine is said to run over 6,200 miles in a single day and night. 24 hours. That's over 258 miles an hour, assuming it runs for the whole day without taking a break. Only, we know it likes to sleep, and when it does, it chooses a supremely comfortable sleeping spot and sleeps like a baby. No wonder. Arcanine's Pokédex entries make several references to China, and Chinese guardian lions were the inspiration for the Shisa, the Japanese guard dogs. So in a way, Arcanine is an evolution of Growlithe, but Growlithe's design is an evolution of Arcanine's. Just something I thought was worth mentioning. In the case of Legends Arceus for Arcanine, our boy gets a nice new trim, just like Growlithe. The cool factor of this, guys, is there, though. That's rough and tough. Anyhow, bonus points go to the Let's Go animation for riding on Arcanine being so fun and smooth. Personally, one of my favorite parts of that game. 8 out of 10. Really have nothing bad to say about this, buddy. Just have had some bad competitive experiences, so let's not set our ceiling too early here. And now we can move on from Generation 1. Or can we? I suppose we could include Ditto in this list, but couldn't you include Ditto in every list? I guess it's fine if it can see a canine Pokemon, but ask it to transform into a dog in memory alone, and you might end up with some strange mutated mutt. Plus, when it sleeps, it transforms into a stone, and call me crazy, but I'd rather have a pet dog than a pet rock, or blob, or whatever Ditto actually is. 2 out of 10. If I wanted a fake dog, I'd buy Slinky from Toy Story. Unlike the cute, cuddly class of canines in Gen 1, the dogs of Gen 2 are a lot weirder, but also a lot more fierce looking. Hey, I know visuals aren't everything, and as my own mother once said, looking good and being good are 2 different things. Besides, Snubble's kinda cute. I mean, in a weird, mean, pouty way. Less so when you realize that it's not wearing a dress, but it's actually loose skin that drapes over the lower part of its body. Gross. Still, I kind of have a soft spot for Snubble as it reminds me of myself in high school a little bit. It sleeps half the day, often gets bullied, and it's sad because others tend to run away from its frightening appearance. On the plus side, it's playful and affectionate. Must-haves for a best friend. If you like bulldogs, you might like Snubble, and it can be usefully annoying in battle. 4 out of 10, mostly because I ain't about that face. But what happens when our bully high schooler, Pokemon evolves? Does it finally learn to stand up for itself, train to become a fearless warrior, and go from being hunted to hunter? In this case, no. Granbull may be bigger and scarier than Snubble, but it's still a big softie at heart. Its powerful jaws and fangs mean that most of the time it keeps its head down for balance. When it's attacked, Granbull prefers to flail around rather than use the gifts Arceus and Bidoof gave it. Only when it's enraged will this cowardly dog actually bite something. Let's be honest, prior to Generation 6, Granbull was pretty useless as a normal type Pokemon. It has since become a fairy type, possibly referencing a creature from Celtic mythology called the Dog Fairy. Most trainers now use Granbull for its Intimidate ability, but according to the Pokédex, it's still totally incompetent as a watchdog. 4 out of 10. Not sure I want a 10-year-old writing totally incompetent during their research of my dog. One Pokemon that will look out for you as its trainer, as well as looking after its own kind, is Houndour. This badass-looking dog is reminiscent of the hellhounds from Greek mythology, the most famous being Cerberus, although with only one head. They hunt in packs and use different cries to communicate with each other while hunting or marking their territory. The Pokédex entry for Sapphire states, "This Pokemon's remarkable teamwork is unparalleled." While in Ultra Sun, it states that, when it becomes your partner, Houndour's very loyal to you as its trainer and will obey your orders. That's more like it. We see this teamwork and loyalty on display in the anime episode of Hour of the Houndour, when one of the pack gets sick and the others steal food to nurse it back to health. At least before Ash steps in and takes the sick Houndour to a Pokemon Center. It doesn't have the best stats, especially when it comes to defense, but I'd rather have a Houndour in my party than face off against one. Too bad I can never find it in Gen 2. Oh, it's in Kanto? What the heck? 7 out of 10. Darkfire is a much more optimal typing, but seriously, why was this thing only obtainable in Kanto in the Gen 2 games? The evolution of Houndour, Houndoom, takes the bad boy vibes a step further with a skull-shaped pendant on its throat, long gray horns, and a devilish tail. Strange. It seems to have lost its ears, but hopefully it can still hear your commands because you do not want to get caught in the path of this fiery, poisonous dog breath. Apparently, the pain lasts forever. Mind you, Houndoom chose their own leaders by fighting each other, and you can spot which one's in charge because its horns are raked sharply towards its back. In Generation 6, this Pokemon can also Mega Evolve into Mega Houndoom, and its internal temperatures get so high that it hurts itself. Poor guy. Mega Evolutions are really messed up sometimes. This is less of a good boy in the friendly sense, but more of a good boy in the please don't hurt me kind of sense. 8 out of 10. I got a soft spot for Danes, and I like this thing being able to heat up New England a little bit. It's cold up here. From one sketchy-looking creature to another, Smeargle is the pre-evolution of Golem, a character obsessed with finding one ring. Sorry, wrong script. Smeargle is a beagle-like Pokemon who loves to paint and mark his territory with special liquid that comes from the tip of its tail. Sounds like a dog I used to own. You'll probably have to apologize to your neighbors for the amount of graffiti it's going to leave on their walls, but many people love having Smeargle in their party, specifically for its sketch ability. This allows it to permanently copy the last move used by an opponent, meaning it can learn almost any move in the game. Competitively, this is chaos, and I'm here for it. Smeargle is consistently the source of unpredictability, toxicity, and Pokemon battle cheese, even post-Dark Void nerf. Some of Smeargle's paintings are also extremely valuable for you NFT hunters, with Smeargle fanatics being willing to pay big money for them, according to the Ultra Moon Pokédex. He's a bit messy, but his unique ability might be worth the trouble, especially if he brings in those sweet, sweet Pokédollars. Kind of like Dog Meowth if you think about it. 9 out of 10. I could really use a thumbnail artist. Gen 3, cue the trumpets. We're going to start with Poochyena, and as is painfully obvious from its name, this pup shares traits with that of a lovable pooch and a scary hyena. It will relentlessly chase its prey, and it knows how to play rough, but as soon as its foes fight back, this puppy is more likely to tuck its tail between its legs and run away. Speaking of relentlessly chasing its prey, does anyone know which games Poochyena chases Professor Birch in, and which games Zigzagoon does the honors? For some reason, I can't remember right now. Poochyena will puff out their tail to try and intimidate the opponents, but thankfully it stops short of presenting its junk for inspection.
You what?
Which is a real thing that hyenas are known for in the wild. I'm watching you, Ed. Despite having some of the lowest stats among Dark-type Pokemon, Poochyena deserves extra credit for spearheading the Dark-types matter movement. Since before Ruby and Sapphire, Dark-types were mostly locked to the post-game section, so you didn't really have a way to use them. 7 out of 10. Probably an 8 out of 10 before Gen 6, but those fairy types are pesky. When Poochyena evolves into Mightyena, it acts more like the carnivore that you'd expect. This is backed up by the Pokédex, which explicitly states that Poochyena is an omnivore and doesn't mention that when it comes to Mightyena. They hunt in packs, similar to Houndour and Houndoom, and pretty similar to how real-life hyenas do. They also share features similar to that of German Shepherds or Australian Kelpie dogs, both breeds whose personalities are highly influenced by their owners. In fact, the Pokédex confirms that Mightyena will always obey the commands of a skilled trainer, but only for trainers that it recognizes to possess superior skill. I guess that must include Max then, who evolves a Poochyena in A Bite to Remember, and as Mightyena becomes protector of the local Pokemon Preserve. 7 out of 10. Big fan of the Intimidate ability. A little salty that Lanoon got a Gen 8 evolution and this guy hasn't though, come on. Our next little tyke is Electrike. Likely based on the legendary Raiju or Thunder Beast, a creature that can turn into various mammals including wolves and dogs. And yes, it's kind of just Diet Raikou, but Raikou is a cat. More on that in another video. Electrike uses electricity to stimulate its legs and run faster than the human eye can follow. That may be a good thing if you, like some Gen 3 fans, are not a fan of its design. Hey, I don't hate it, just speaking for the people. Electrike do make for good guardians, however, as they are very friendly. It'll live happily in your home and can smell if someone is friend or foe. As long as you don't mind it rubbing against your carpets and generating serious static electricity, and I would probably recommend not using a metal comb on this boy, I suppose it's a decent little pup. 5 out of 10. Shocking, I know. But then we turn to Manectric, and man is that design crazy. Hectic Manectric. From its mountain range of a mane to its sharp bent tail and its crocodile clip-looking mouth, it's not the most endearing Pokemon. Don't even get me started on Mega Manectric. What is the fact that it's constantly spewing out electricity and is known as the discharge Pokemon doesn't help this Manectric's case either. Oh, and it might accidentally start forest fires. That sounds helpful. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, the Pokédex says that this Pokemon rarely appears before people. Yet, in the Kalos region, Officer Jenny uses it because there aren't any Growlithe or Herdier around. It is probably a good deterrent dog, to be fair. 4 out of 10. I think this guy is pretty cool, but not my favorite. Whoa. Wait. Bump that to a 6 out of 10. That shiny is sick. Oh, we gotta bring back that Mega Shiny. Put it in ZA. Bring on the Gen 4 Hounds. Nostalgia generation, let's go. First up is Riolu, a Pokemon reminiscent of Anubis. the Egyptian god with the head of an African golden wolf. Although its mask-like design makes Riolu look more like a raccoon than a wolf, I think. Riolu has a lithe yet powerful body, which Google tells me means thin, supple, and graceful. And this little fighter is all about aura, max aura, which it uses to communicate and, I guess Riolu can't do much else. It's a hard worker though, and has plenty of stamina, strength, and endurance. Plus it can smash rocks and summon up vacuum waves with its paws, fists, paws. With the ability to read human minds, it only approves of those who are pure of heart, while loathing those of ill nature. I don't love that, and it might say more about me than it does about Riolu. I just feel like this pup is more of an emotional support dog than a lovable companion. It also sleeps while sitting upright, which is just a little weird and disconcerting to me. 5 out of 10. Cool shiny again? 6 out of 10. The good news is that if you keep Riolu by your side and happy enough, it'll evolve into the far more useful Lucario. Lucario is a firm fan favorite, even appearing in games like Super Smash Bros. Rather than just perceiving auras, this dog has the power to control them and use them in battle. Learning Aura Sphere while also having the other powerful Steel-type fighting moves like Meteor Mash and Close Combat. Plus, which other Pokemon can you have a Mega Bone Rush battle 1v1 style on top of a crazy spiral tower in? Said to be prideful and extremely loyal to its owner, so long as they have a righteous heart, the fact that it's more likely to defend you is enough to make me have a change of heart about its upright sleeping stance this time around. Also, once again, Mega Lucario, need I say more? Solid 9 out of 10. Ooh, that gray Smash skin though. Ooh, make that happen, Game Freak. 9.5 out of 10. Next up is Shaymin. Wait, is that a dog? That looks like a hedgehog to me. Hang on. Here, try taking a whiff of this Gracidia flower. Oh, there we go. That's better. That's better. I suppose I should have specified. Skyform Shaymin is a pup. There are plenty of Pokemon who change species upon evolving, but Shaymin is a rare case in which it changes species when altering forms. In Skyform, Shaymin takes on a slender, canine-like appearance, and its green afro turns into a mohawk. It apparently spreads feelings of gratitude when it flies, and can do much more damage than its landform with stab moves like Air Slash. Unfortunately, Shaymin reverts back to a hedgehog at night if frozen, deposited or withdrawn from the PC, deposited in the Pokemon Bank, or if put in the daycare. I ask for a dog, not a shapeshifter. Its mythical status is cool, but 4 out of 10. Would have been 8 out of 10 if the hedgehog's shiny looked like Sonic. Just saying. Cometh Gen 5, cometh more canine companions. Lillipup is an adorable, yet very brave little boy. It's smart enough to know when it's outmatched, just like a Yorkshire Terrier, but it's easy to raise indoors. Better than a little Yorkie, Lillipup can use the long hair on its face as a radar to probe the condition of its battle opponents, but it will run away if it decides it's going to lose. Lillipup is very obedient, and it'll never forget the love, or God forbid, unlove, it receives while being raised. Be good to Lillipup, and you'll have a pretty good sidekick at your feet. Very classic and traditional, man's best friend, love the Yorkie, 7 out of 10. Evolve Lillipup, and you can bear witness to the majestic mustache and bushy eyebrows courtesy of Herdier, the favorite Pokemon of designer Mana Ibe. This loyal dog has grown tougher with age, developing a black cape-like fur that decreases the amount of damage it receives. It's expensive to groom, but Herdier is good to have around the house, as not only will it help trainers, it'll also take care of other Pokemon for you. Save on that daycare money, I'm telling you. Withstanding the test of time, portrayals of Herdier have been found on cave walls, and some say it was the first Pokemon to ever partner with humans. That's a bold claim. Oh boy, it's another one of those arguments for first Pokemon. Like we needed another one of those. 8 out of 10. And just when you thought a dog's due couldn't get more dapper, behold Stoutland. Its flowing locks of facial hair and long shaggy fur can protect itself and others against freezing temperatures. People in cold regions use Stoutland for warmth, while in Alola, they're used as ride Pokemon to search for hidden items. The dowsing machine is sentient now. They've also been known to take part in mountain and sea rescues. Plus, they love the company of humans. The longer a Stoutland's mustache, the higher its status among the species. It's also an intimidating force in battles if you competitive bros are on my wavelength too. Good-natured, valiant, trustworthy. Stoutland is the perfect partner for many trainers, whatever the weather. 9 out of 10. I feel like it needs to be a little more interesting than just a pure normal type, especially up against the rest of the Pokemon world. If he had something else to him, easy 10 out of 10. If a cunning canine is what you're after, consider Zorua. Known as the Tricky Fox, it's best known for its illusion ability, which lets itself disguise as another Pokemon in battle, or as a silent child when it's hungry and wants to enter a city in search of food. Preferring to keep its true appearance hidden, Zorua is timid in nature but can scare off opponents by taking on another Pokemon's scarier form. Speaking of forms, the Hisuian Zorua are the souls of exiled Zorua who were cast out from other lands by humans. They resent everything, including other Pokemon, and exist primarily to torment people. It can be pretty powerful in battle, I guess, but good boys, they are not. 1 out of 10. Sorry. I know a lot of you love them, but this is a video about which dog I'd want to have as my pet. Zoroark is the even scarier and smarter older brother of Zorua. This Dark-type evolution retains the illusion ability while possessing vastly superior intelligence, greater speed, and higher attack power. It's a formidable fighter and fiercely protective of its pack, conjuring terrifying illusions to keep enemies away. It will become an invaluable ally if you can earn its trust, but according to the Scarlet Pokédex, stories say those who tried to catch Zoroark were trapped in an illusion and punished. So, good luck, I guess. And if that's not enough, Hisuian Zoroark are even more spiteful and can drive you insane if they choose to. Together with Hisuian Zorua, and probably my ex-girlfriend, it's the only Pokemon capable of learning the move Bitter Malice. If you're one of the lonely trainers with a Zoroark, at least you can use it to conjure up illusions to ease the burden of solitude, I guess. Enjoy your friends. 4 out of 10. This guy was way more fun before Team Preview. Side thought here. Would have been sick if Zoroark would have been in Smash, and then picking him for like an online 1v1 made it look like you were another random fighter until you got hit and then it revealed you were a Zoroark. I don't know. Just would have been cool. Ooh, Gen 6. Things are really starting to heat up now. Fennekin, the fox Pokemon, is a fire-type starter that resembles a small fennec fox. Its playful yet resourceful nature mirrors real-life canines' loyalty and energy, but it can sometimes get a bit hot under the collar, making it prone to mood swings. Ironically, this means that you might be the one with steam coming out of your ears. Fennekin has a good mix of fire and pre-psychic abilities, and it's a decent little starter, but you'll probably want to evolve it ASAP. 4 out of 10. Is it just me, or do you also think of a schoolgirl version of like Pennywise the Clown when you see Braixen? It's a bit terrifying. Anyway, this foxy Pokemon has a stick up its butt, or a twig in its tail, which it sets on fire to send signals to its allies. This flame can also be used to spark powerful attacks like Flame Charge and Fire Spin. Its upright posture suggests intelligence and focus, traits often associated with foxes and some dog breeds. I just can't get past the whole schoolgirl clown thing. I don't, sorry. 3 out of 10. Sorry it suffers from mid-stage jank, Grottle style.
I'm like, what is it made for?
Evolving beyond its awkward teenage phase, however, Delphox has removed the stick from its backside and now carries it like a wand. Now resembling a mage with long fur that resembles a robe, Delphox can see into the future by staring into the flame. And it can create a fiery vortex using psychic power, useful for toasting marshmallows, birthday candles, and burning enemies to a crisp. In ancient times, people would use the burn marks left by Delphox's wand to look into the future for themselves. You can build a strong bond with Delphox, and it makes for a loyal, versatile companion. 7 out of 10. I'd actually say this guy is my favorite Gen 6 starter, somehow. Sorry to the millions that would say Greninja instead, I just like this guy. Next to strut its stuff on the dog walk is Furfrou. And boy, oh boy, Furfrou is... yeah. This fabulous poodle Pokemon is famed for its elegant appearance and customizable grooming. There's even a dedicated grooming shop on Vernal Avenue in Lumiose City where you can take it for a makeover. There are 10 different forms for Furfrou, named after the style in which its fur is trimmed. These trims are Natural Trim, Dandy Trim, Debutante Trim, Diamond Trim, Pharaoh Trim, Heart Trim, Kabuki Trim, Laren Trim, Matron Trim, and Star Trim. In Pokemon Go, its shiny forms are notoriously some of the most difficult to obtain, just like any real-world luxury fashion item, but this isn't just a show dog. Ash's Pokédex tells us that Furfrou were assigned the task of protecting kings who ruled the Kalos region in ancient times. Will we see this in Legends ZA? I won't count on it, they usually forget things like that. Furfrou boasts impressive defenses, with its fur coat ability having the damage from physical attacks, making Furfrou a surprisingly durable companion in battles. 8 out of 10. Couple points off for the whole dog show vibe, I can't get down with that. I'm more of a puppy bowl guy myself. Rockruff, taking us into Generation 7, plays a pretty prominent role. Professor Kukui clearly demonstrates that he trusts the little guy to be his best friend. Rockruff seems to be more wolf-like than dog-like. Perhaps Rockruff's rock theme and typing is an homage to the now extinct Japanese wolf. Kind of sad if you think about it, but hey, at least Alola kind of got a fossil Pokemon, right? Rockruff shares the worst base stat total of all rock-type Pokemon with Roggenrola and Knackley. I'm not sure I'd want to know my best pal couldn't outdo a Mario Galaxy 2 power-up. 4 out of 10. Let's see if it gets any better when it evolves. I guess our choice for this next one depends on what time of day we'd be picking our boy Lycanroc up from the kennel. Lycanthrope is another word for werewolf, so this whole timing mechanic actually makes a lot of sense. It is said that midday form has a calm, collected, and cautious personality. Nice. But it prefers to live alone. The midnight form is thrilled by battling and loves to face strong opponents. Nice. Oh, but it's known to be reckless, and it has a vicious temper. A bit concerning. Any hope for the dusk form? Well, it never barks, and it has a loyal nature and calm demeanor. Wow, that's reassuring after the first two. What? Wait. What? What's that now? It's considered the most troublesome of the three forms, and it's difficult to train due to its temperamental nature. Jeez, these guys really had 3 chances. They went 0 for 3. Accelerock is a 6 signature move. More types need good priority moves. That's really all we've got going for these guys. 2 out of 10. Might have been good enough for Ash, but doesn't quite measure up to the rest of Pokemon's canine cast. Galar. Nickit is one of our fox Pokemon for this list, which still kind of rubs me the wrong way that foxes are dogs, even though, I mean, of course they are. This guy doesn't feel as nice as Vulpix, though, as it clearly takes some inspiration from thieves and burglars. We don't have a lot of Nickit, but reading that it enjoys stealing food tells me all I need to know. 2 out of 10. That is my dinner, you little runt. I'd assume Thievul carries Nickit's theft-inspired abilities, as it looks like a bigger Nickit. Yep, it does. But one cool thing to note is Thievul can mark a scent to track and stalk targets. It still uses this to steal food, but maybe I could use these to remember where my car keys are or something at least if I'm hungry. Those air tags are like $30 a piece, man. 3 out of 10, underrated Pokemon, but wouldn't want my dog to have evil in its name. Let's get back to some cuter ones. Sonia seems to think that Yamper is the #1 companion of the Galar region. Would I agree? It's kind of cute, actually, that Pokemon Shield's Dex entry tells us that he's gluttonous, but will assist a human due to its want for treats. Will work for food is my kind of vibe. Okay, Ball Fetch is a goated ability. I actually loved using this guy to track down my Kurt Balls if they failed their catches back in Sword and Shield. So useful. 7 out of 10, it's cute, but I think we need a few more generations of lore for this guy before he fully develops. But speaking of developing, once it evolves into Boltund, our Greyhound-inspired friend is, believe it or not, the only Pokemon at the time of Gen 8's release to be called the dog Pokemon. We'll get one more later, but this was kind of crazy to me. I guess Game Freak planned on creating so many dog Pokemon that they knew they had to get creative right from the start. Boltund is a pretty fast boy, being able to run faster than 50 miles an hour. It's also the enemy of Thievul, which is good to know. It'll protect my stuff. I like my stuff. I don't want my stuff stolen. Thievul, sit down. We don't get a much deeper look into Boltund's personality, but I'll give this guy the benefit of the doubt, as long as he's willing to help with the power bills. 6 out of 10. And drumroll, please. Welcome to our very first legendaries of the list. And no, the legendary beasts of Gen 2 are not dogs, apparently. I mean, I guess there are canine and feline features there, but listen, they're not really dogs. If we called them definitive dogs, we'd have to go back and do that for a lot more Pokemon. But back to Zacian. She's known as a legendary hero, and me being a Fire Emblem fan and all, it'd be pretty cool if my dog could wield a sword, not gonna lie. Being the legendary that it is, it's not surprising that it gets a signature move in Behemoth Blade, which can cut the ocean in two. I'm for power and all that, but I didn't know Moses was available to pick up at PetSmart. An ability that acts as an anti-intimidate by boosting your attack one stage when you enter battle, sign me up. 8 out of 10. Very cool. Let's check out Baby Sister. Zamazenta got the short end of the stick, or chew toy, or whatever. Poor doggy was based off of defense compared to Zacian's attack. Everyone knows the best defense is a good offense in Pokemon, so Zacian overshadows Zamazenta completely. However, I for one love the Dauntless Shield plus Iron Defense plus Body Press combination. I really wish I had more true dog stuff to talk about here, but Zacian nor Zamazenta have anything besides all this cool legendary lore and competitive prowess to talk about, and that's all for another video. We just want to know if they'd be good dogs. I'll give these two both the benefit of the doubt due to them being proven heroes in-game. Plus, Zamazenta is nostalgic for me, as Shield was my first Gen 8 game, even though I simply enjoy using Zacian more now. 7 out of 10. Let's wait for the Gen 8 remakes to see if we've gotten more Pokédex entries by then. Wow, this has been quite the journey so far, and in Gen 9 now we've got this whole open world to play with our dogs in. It's like a big dog park. If only the ride Pokemon mechanic was extended to some of our last few boys we're going to talk about today. Like Fido, who happens to be our last puppy of the video, at least as far as Pokédex categories are concerned. It shares this category with Growlithe, Lillipup, Yamper, and Rockruff, all of which we mentioned earlier. These are your Pokepuppies. Fido is a useful companion for cooking. It sounds yummy, and apparently warrants protection from the people of Paldea. Can't let our cinnamon buns go extinct, am I right? The fairy typing of this Pokemon tells me it can be trusted, and one of its abilities is Klutz, which must be pretty cute if it trips over itself sometimes, not gonna lie. 8 out of 10, but I'm eager to see what happens if we give Fido some more time in the oven. Dachsbun. Dachsbun is amazing, absolutely outstanding. First of all, it's based off of one of my favorite dog breeds, which I don't even know how to pronounce, and neither do you.
Dachshund.
I think Game Freak was painfully aware of this, as do we even know how to pronounce this Pokemon's name? Is it Dachsbun? 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 I love that it's equally phonetically difficult as its real-life counterpart. That's so genius. But guys, it's food-inspired. It has a pleasant and appetizing aroma. It's treasured by farming villages. Need I say more? Well, I will. It's very useful in battle with its Wish Protect combination and fairy typing. Its well-baked body ability prevents it from being hit by fire type moves, instead boosting its defense by 2 stages. It's stupid cute, and it's available all over the game. Any part of your playthrough, you can find this guy. Plus, that shiny is nice. 10 out of 10. Dachsbun is near perfect, if not the definition of what it means to be a perfect Pokemon pooch. Even Game Freak themselves know this, as Dachsbun is one of only 2 Pokemon to simply be called the dog Pokemon. Chef's kiss. Mwah. But we've still got some more. Mastiff is said to be a bit of a chunkster. I got a soft spot for chunkster dogs. I also feel for this guy, as its Scarlet Dex entry points out specifically that children will cry and burst into laughter when they see Mastiff's face. I get he's not the cutest dog, but come on. Mastiff's strength is nothing to scoff at either, as its strong jaws and sharp fangs can apparently crush boulders. How's this thing not a rock type? 6 out of 10. Not my favorite, but I'm giving it a small boost due to Intimidate. Mabostiff keeps that Intimidate ability and even adds another in the form of Guard Dog, which prevents Mabostiff from being forced out with any phasing moves and reverses the effect of Intimidate on Mabostiff, instead boosting its attack. That's some mob boss stuff. This was the signature ability of Mabostiff, at least for like half a game until DLC. More on this in a minute. I feel like we all love Mabostiff because his story with Arven in Scarlet and Violet is among the most gut-wrenching Pokemon moments. I don't want this boy to be sick anymore. Please, just stand up, little buddy. It's said that Mabostiff has a gentle nature and loves playing with children in its Pokemon Violet Dex entry. He would be a great pick for those looking for a chill boy. 8 out of 10 for the Herba Mystica arc. I don't know why I'm stuck on abilities right now, but Greavard having the pickup ability is sick and would have been way cooler back in Gen 4 or something like that when you couldn't pick up items all over the map all the time. The fun ends here though, as it's said in Greavard's Scarlet Dex entry that this boy is a dog Pokemon that died in the wild without ever interacting with a human. How sad. Even more sad is its Violet entry reads that it doesn't like being alone. It will follow you forever if you pay it any attention. Little scary, kind of weird, pretty sad. Newfound soft spot for this one, as I hope it finds what it's looking for. Our little loyal ghost pal. 7 out of 10. Houndstone, Greavard's evolution, gains a signature move in the form of Last Respects. Did you know that Last Respects is technically the most powerful move in the game, as its base power can reach a whopping 5,050? Now that's some power! Wait, Last Respects can be learned by White Stripe Basculin for Basculegion 2? Dang, I didn't actually know that. That's crazy. What's with us stealing signature moves from these dogs, Game Freak? Whoa! Look at this Dex entry. Scarlet's Dex entry says among all the dog Pokemon, this one is the most loyal to its master. This is a crazy take from Game Freak, and I love it. Automatic 9 out of 10. Fantastic dog Pokemon, and Game Freak agrees. Someone want to explain to me the lore of Sandrush being its ability, though? That one doesn't make sense. And how else could we cap off our official dog list than one more legendary? That being over in Kitakami. Okidogi, a member of the Loyal 3, probably had a better chance of competing for the top good boy spot before Petrarant got its poison and spells all up in there. This is the guy who stole the guard dog ability from a Bostiff. Come on, man. Well, either way, Violet's Dex entry tells us it has a short temper and can pulverize anything by swinging around the chain on its neck. Not a combination I want to be dealing with when I kick my foot up to watch the Eagles on Sunday afternoons. Come on. 3 out of 10. I want it to go higher because it's a legendary, but nah, people don't like it that much. Well, as far as snubs go, no, not those snubs. I'll let you guys debate more in the comments, as I'm sure you'll say I forgot some Pokédogs, and I'm sure I did. And I'm sure some Pokemon are just like, what the hell is actually going on here when you think deeper about it? Like Eevee. It's kind of just a generic mammal, right? I don't know. It's cute and it's a great companion. That's all that matters. Consider Eevee my honorable mention, and we'll give the little one its own video someday, I swear. Type Null and Silvally could work. Of course, we already mentioned the legendary beasts, or cats, or dogs, whatever you want to call them. Absol is definitely more cat-like, but these are all based on folklore anyway. What am I talking about? Alright, and let's head to the computer for a second because it's time for our top 6 and final dog team of 6. We're going to give them movesets because I want to. Let's go to Showdown. Alright, you guys, in no particular order yet, we're going to go through the top 6. We're going to give them moves. We're going to talk about what they've got going on. First, my boy Clifford here. And we call him Clifford because it's a dead dog. Clifford was canceled when the voice actor died, so rest in peace, my boy Clifford. Houndstone's got Fluffy as an ability, and to go along with this whole dying theme, we're going Memento, Last Respects, Trick, Destiny Bond. Terra-type is Fire to pay some respect to my boy Clifford, you know, the big red dog. Lucario, we nicknamed him Spike, mainly because, you know, he's got that one little spike on him. And who doesn't know of a dog named Spike? We gotta give him Aura Sphere, because you know that, max Aura. And then the other 3 moves, we're gonna give him Bulk Up, some of that dog muscle. And then we're gonna give him Meteor Mash, Drain Punch, try and recover some HP, boost his stats a little bit. See if he can't sweep. Of course he's shiny. Next up we got Sunshine. And we named our Smeargle Sunshine kind of because his shiny form looks like Bowser Jr., Shadow Mario from Mario Sunshine, you know what I mean? The little paintbrush thing. And because it's Bowser Jr., we made his Terra-type Dragon. We gave him a Sticky Barb because, you know, he's going to be all goopy and stuff. And Bowser Jr. is known to be a little bit moody. But then we just gave him a bunch of random hazard stuff. Good for battling, I think. Next up, we got Entei. Hentei, the Entei, and that says Hentei, not anything else. He's named that because he should have been legendary. He is the legendary Pokemon. Why did we have to make another dog-cat thing? This guy's built to just run into a wall, which I'm sure he wants to do because he's not a real legendary. Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Extreme Speed, Flame Charge, boost that speed if he wants to. No recoil damage for my boy. None of that. Terra-type Fire, gonna deal some massive damage. Next up, we got Dachsbun. Love Dachsbun. Of course, we had to name him Snoop because he's, you know, well-baked. We're gonna change that Terra type actually. No fairy Terra type for Snoop. Snoop's got ice, so we're going ice, even though that's a terrible idea. The moves, Trail Blaze, because he's gonna blaze it, and then that Wish Protect combo, and Baton Pass to pass some of that speed onto Lucario or Hentei, And finally, we got Stoutland, my boy Rip. I'm going to name him Rip because he's not in Gen 9, so we can't actually use him. Because we can't actually use him, let's go ahead and give him illegal moves, too. So we're going to give him Roar, Roar of Time, Noble Roar, and Play Nice, the 4 most dog moves in Pokemon. And we're going to make him Flying Terra because respect to my boy Airbud. We're going to give him a Rare Bone as an item. What else would a dog have? And how fitting is it that his ability is going to be Sand Rush? Guess what? Full circle. Houndstone, why does it have Sand Rush? Why does it have Sand Rush? Stoutland, why does it have Sand Rush? Somebody in the comments, tell me. All right, and now it's time for what you've all been waiting for. The podium, baby. Top 3 dogs. Drum roll, please. In 3rd place, we've got a 3-way tie. And no, it's not Hydreigon. Smeargle, Stoutland, and Houndstone all scored respectable 9 out of 10s and would all be great picks, especially for their respective regions' playthroughs. In 2nd place, we've got none other than bad boy Lucario. I know he's a fan favorite, you can use him in Smash, and my 9.5 out of 10 score reflects my agreement with the fan base on this one. He was one of my favorites in Brawl as a kid, has his own movie, he's got it all. And finally, standing alone in 1st place with the only 10 out of 10 for the Slash Squad official dog, the goodest boy, Dachsbun. Dachsbun. Enough bread, enough said. Maybe we'll make a video about cats or something next. Anyways, everybody, thank you for making it this far, subscribing to our channel, and liking this video. It'll all help us grow. You can look forward to us streaming soon. We're going to be doing some fun videos, gameplay, challenges, and commentary on all things Pokemon.